Welcome back to Dota 2, the International West Qualifiers. It's day 3, and we just saw an amazing best of 3 against Mouse against IC Cup Wepas. What did you make of that game?
Well, the last game was kind of one-sided, I feel. The series, overall, the games were... I mean, the first game was the one that I feel was most even, just because IC Cup really tried to put pressure, but it didn't really work. Second game, they just took control over the game. And last game, Mouse just came back and showed why they are a heavy favorite to go through this whole tournament, just because they had control over the game during the whole game, and then they just finished off in really good fashion.
So Mouse will be advanced to the winner, the second group, the finals of the winners bracket, and they will be facing the winner of this match, which is the match everyone was expecting. I think it's EG versus the QPAD Red Pandas.
Everyone was expecting it. Is that?
Everyone was expecting it. I checked my Twitter and people are, I'm expecting the QPAD Red Pandas versus EG game.
Nobody actually said that. Nobody said that.
It's been up for a week or something. I love the fact that you use expecting. Sorry to call you out now, Bruno, but I do love it. All right, come on, back to you, Bruno.
Yes.
I'm being rude.
Of course, James will be doing some commentary today with Andy because Andy is not biased enough. So it had to bring someone.
Not bias. I said they were going to lose.
All of EG are on Andy's friends list.
Yes.
Everyone from QPAD Red Pandas are on mine apart from Select.
It'll be interesting.
They're all on mine though, so if you look now, you get all of them.
Yes. But before we're going to the actual match, which we'll be going to straight away, there's a small video I want to show you. This video was created by Anuxi. Probably you know of her from her models, the Crystal Maiden, Enchantress, Windrunner, Mirana. She does lots of great modeling and she's really, really friendly towards the community. So she recorded a small video for us and we're going to see it right now.
Hey guys, it's Anuxi here, and I'm super hyped for the International 2013. Probably because the whole Dota community comes together to cheer on the best the world has to offer. We build the hype threads, we early bird the streams, we flip through our compendiums and we get our print screen and gift cams ready. We type in all caps, we scream and shout at the big plays. We watch as the chat fills with, "No, my rares," as the GGs are called. We make the International something really special, and I am super happy to be able to enjoy this with all of you.
There we had it. Very nice video by Anuxi, by the way. But we're running short of time, so we're going straight into the teams. We're going to introduce Wepas. You do the first.
So, for the QPAD Red Pandas, we got Select playing carry now. Sing Sing back on his mid-roll, Wagamamas playing the off-lane, and then of course for supports we got Jarex and Mini.
And I will do the EG.
There's only 2 supports though, Wepas.
Yeah.
What?
Anyways, we have... It's alright. We have Fear and Biddies on support for EG. On the mid we have Demon. Carry will be Jo. And finally, and this is really exciting because we're going to see a very exciting matchup. On the offlane we have Bambo, and we're reviving Sing Sing and Bambo playing in the same game, albeit in different teams. But that will be something to watch.
That's going to be very interesting. It's the Sing versus Bambo matchup pretty much.
Okay, so I guess the teams are ready. Are the teams ready, Andy?
Not only are they ready, we're ahead of you. We're inside of the game.
Oh, that's so
Now
fast.
we're in the future.
Holy
Damn.
shit.
Your faces.
You're really good. I'm out of here.
All right, thanks Bruno and Wepas. And you didn't catch my joke, Wepas.
No, I
Went
didn't.
over your head with all that pretty hair. But either way, QPAD Red Pandas first bans are going to be Lifestealer and Batrider, and Evil Geniuses smartly probably taking out the Wisp. I feel Mini plays a great Wisp. EG, of course, if you aren't familiar with these two teams, EG are the favourites going into this. They are one of the favourites for the community to actually just qualify top 2 of the whole West qualifiers. A lot of people felt that they could have or should have got an invite directly to Seattle. It went to Team Dignitas just because of their recent performances. I feel, that's why Team Dignitas got it and EG had to go through the qualifiers. But as of recent, EG are playing so good.
Yeah.
And QPAD Red Pandas, they do know what they're up against. They know EG very well. So we'll see what they have in store for them.
I'm excited to watch Red Pandas, especially because Of course, everybody knows they were scrimming here at the studio for a while, and we got a chance to see them kind of develop. But for me, it's been a little while since I've gotten to see their progress, especially since they decided to change their roles. So for me, how well is Select going to perform on that carry role? What kind of heroes are Wagga going to play? Is he going to stay the same kind of style? Do they like to pick the Pandas still? Do they want to pick the Clockwork? What's in store for them?
Now this is really interesting, Andy. Look, they've actually banned out e.g. the Wisp and Shadow Demon, two big supports that QPAD Red Pandas love to run and combo with a certain amount of heroes. We've seen an SD Kunkka, we've seen Wisp as well play. I can't remember exactly, but sometimes it's CK, sometimes they've done a Tiny, I believe. But now at least QPAD Red Pandas the option to pick up a Nyx, but they actually decide, nope, we want what one of our players plays a lot, which is Magnus. And I think there was a statistic put up on qualifiers.thegoodstudio.com where it says Select has played Magnus or Brewmaster in total for 50% of his competitive games. So already QPAD Red Pandas, they're just looking to pick up the hero that they like, the hero they feel comfortable with, despite being offered that Nyx Assassin.
10 seconds.
And they're going safe. Maybe they feel that they can outplay EG. This is going to be on a US East server for those interested in the server location, and the server and the ping is pretty even for both teams.
Yeah.
Sweden to US East, and I think most of EG are on US West, so it's okay. And EG get two fantastic supports here, Andy.
Not only fantastic, they're pretty defensive until at least the Nyx hit 6. You get your Rubik to be able to steal an RP, depending on how good your positioning can actually be. And this is one of those points where you have to look back at the games earlier today when we got to see Resolution's Magnus against a team with heroes very similar to this, where you kind of have to hit everything. And when you don't hit everything, you get punished really hard for it. So I love EG's response to the first pick Magnus. Now it's up to the QPAD Red Pandas. Do they want to go with something like a Lone Druid here? Very common to partner up with the Magnus. Of course, Select can play that as well. And it also leaves their lanes really wide open.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I do feel that QPAD Red Pandas definitely need to have some other big impact heroes outside of just the Magnus, because otherwise Nyx Assassin, Spiked Carapace, and also Rubik, Telekinesis, and also the ability to steal the reverse polarity, it's going to be too much for the Magnus to do, and EG will know that. So they've gone for a Leshrac and also a Nature's Prophet. This is two nice pickups, of course, but they haven't shown, which I feel is important in the first pick phase, their carry, what kind of carry they're going for. You often, could see them run something like a Void or an Alchemist, and it's EG that have shown, yes, they've got their tri lane is going to have the Nyx Assassin and also Rubik, unless they want to put the Nyx mid. But drafting phase, I think that Magnus first pick for QPAD Red Pandas maybe showed or gave too many options to EG, and it is going to be a Storm Spirit coming out here from mid, so could be a very aggressive pickoffs. And that makes Magnus's time very difficult if that Storm Spirit starts rolling. He has a hard time to initiate.
If it wasn't already hard enough, right, between the two heroes, the Nyx and the Rubik especially. So they have actually 4 different disables, of course. Carapace, you have the Impale, Telekinesis, and you're going to have that Vortex now coming out of the Storm Spirit. But this is something that's actually very common in the Western scene, to pick a Storm Spirit against those really hard-hitting 5 versus 5 teamfight heroes. The better initiation you have, the less you have to worry about taking a full-fledged engagement. So a lot of this fight for EG is going to be down to how good is their vision going to be? Because in order to really abuse a storm, you have to be able to see what's coming. So do they want to pick up something else? I know EG loves their Beastmaster. Demon plays that hero pretty often and plays it very, very well, I might add. Do they want to even, actually I was going to say Clockwork, but the QPAD Red Pandas have actually taken it out here.
I think that's a good ban as well, that offlane Clockwork. Could work out brilliantly for EG, just to add to some aggression, to add on top of the Storm Spirit. The ability to dive with those heroes would be pretty huge. So Clockwork being taken out. EG, what are they worried about here?
Well, for EG, they still have their 2 supports pretty much locked in. And you look at the QPAD Red Pandas, for them, they're taking away what they know they could possibly bring out, which is going to be that Skywrath. Obviously, the QPAD Red Pandas have run that many, many times, especially in that support role. So taking a thing away that's in their comfort zone is going to be pretty much their goal here. And as long as the QPAD Red Pandas don't show their carry card just yet, they should be okay. And EG, they're actually going to ban out the AM as well.
Yeah, they've played AM with Magnus quite a few times, QPAD Red Pandas, with good success. We've also noticed the QPAD Red Pandas have been banning out offlaners they don't want to go up against. You've got the Lone Druid, the Clockwork, and the Weaver. So what carry now could feel safe on the safe lane for QPAD Red Pandas? I still think an Alchemist could be great. Getting farm, getting the BKB could mean a lot to shut down a Storm, or a Rubik, or Nyx. I think Lifestealer would have been a good pick, but they banned it themselves a little bit earlier. But EG are like, okay, what are we worried about now? And I still feel now, after the Skywrath Mage, which can combo well with the Shrek in terms of just a duo and supports, still looking for a carry that they don't want to go up against. Something that can really mess them up. But actually, maybe they feel that the two supports were pretty defensive, so Chen would get a lot of room in jungle if they weren't doing an aggressive tri-lane. So that Chen ban, pretty good decision.
I do like that. It could have been two very quick towers for QPAD Red Pandas.
Yeah.
They already have a Prophet, they have a Leshrac, and that to me says that EG want to dodge the offensive tri-lane. They don't want to go down there, because if they did, then the Chen wouldn't have been as big of a deal, especially with those two supports, like a Nyx and a Rubik. It's really hard to gank that tri-lane, especially when we haven't seen what EG is actually going to pick as their tri-lane carry just yet. So I'm on the same page as you. Love that ban. Nature's Prophet here, Leshrac, Magnus still on the side of the QPAD Red Pandas.
Could be a Darkseer coming out here now.
Well, Darkseer is an okay choice, but we already have one BKB user on EG right now in that Storm Spirit. It would force him to get it maybe a little bit faster than he would like to, but typically you're going to see that Storm go straight into the Orchid. He's just going to look for picks, but it's going to be a Phantom Lancer. So this is pretty much full-on defensive posturing from the QPAD Red Pandas. The Mag is just to buy enough time for that PL to get his farm.
Now, interestingly enough now for QPAD Red Pandas picking up that Phantom Lancer, I do believe it's a good choice, even though I will give them a slap around the head just for picking PL.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine. With the Phantom Lancer, you don't want any other support with their lineup that's too easy to kind of pick off with the Storm Spirit, and Enchantress is a great pick for that as well. Adds a little bit of tankiness, adds some heal to your lineup. EG are going to go for the Gyrocopter that was left in the lineup and available. Mingles is currently covering Bruno's preview screen, and now he can't see what heroes are being picked, so he's just going to throw up anything on the board right now, guys. But Gyrocopter, a great pickup versus PL. If the game's going to go long, Gyro stands out very well. One of the best carries, at least, to be able to stand up with the flat cannon. And they've got a last pick, and it's still going to be the offlane. And I'm not sure what they want to go for here. What are you contemplating?
This situation for me, Evil Geniuses, they got Bambo. I'm thinking Bounty Hunter, just because I love seeing Bambo on Bounty Hunter, and because of the fact that the QPAD Red Pandas don't have what you would call a disgustingly good 5 versus 5. But they're going to go with the Juggernaut, so it's going to be the offlane Juggernaut instead, which I feel is equally as potent in a situation. Or they could potentially run this aggressive if they really want to. Put Jo in that solo safe lane, put the Storm mid, or switch him however you want to do it, and then you have double stun and a spin going up against Sing on that Phantom Lancer, who might not be able to do much about it.
Well, yeah, I still think that they're going to have to invest in some sentries if they're going to be able to pick up a kill on Phantom Lancer, because they're not going to be able to get a kill level 1, probably not level 2, unless he's really out of position, and then you've got the Enchantress to come in. So if EG go aggressive tri-lane, it's a ballsy move.
It is.
It really, yeah, it's... I felt that they had something going good for themselves. I also thought a Bounty Hunter would work really well. The Storm Spirit, get him some vision, get some picks coming while the PL probably can't join all the team fights. I also thought maybe like you'd see Bambo potentially just go on the Darkseer and be able to get himself a pretty early mech. But either way, they have what they have. EG are coming out and saying, yep, we want to fight. We want to make something happen. And we can go through the teams.
On the side of EG, we're going to have that Nyx Assassin being played by Fear. Gyrocopter going to be handled here by Jo. Storm being played by Demon. Bambo going to be playing that Juggernaut. And of course, that leaves Betas going to be playing on Rubik. And of course, on the side of QPandas 2, we're going to have Sing playing on that Phantom Lancer. Enchantress played by Mini. Magnus going to be played by Select, so that 50% going up a bit more. Jerax playing on the Shrek, and then finally Wagamama playing on that Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and both teams looking to make something happen. EG currently heading into QPAD Red Panda's jungle. Sing actually wisely just staying by the tier 2 tower, and it looks like QPAD were looking to get a pick mid onto the Storm Spirit, played by Demon. They could be in for a really bad time if they stay there for a little bit longer, Jerax and Mini. If you look where Jerax and Mini are, if they end up rotating through the jungle and either one of those gets seen, it's going to be bad. But we'll see. We'll see what they can do in the situation. If they stay hidden, it could be a first blood onto Demon playing the Storm Spirit mid. If they get spotted, it could be a really bad start to QPAD Red Pandas' first match in the West Qualifier.
We talked about risky. This is risky. Like, committing your supports this heavily to just sitting around there and waiting for a kill that might not even happen, especially considering right now the supports of EG are actually still pretty close to mid. They're going to be going back towards middle lane, actually. Fear playing the Nyx. He's actually going to be walking up there.
Yeah, actually, Mambo is able to pull the creep wave bottom away from Sing Sing. And EG Fear, playing the Nyx Assassin, is going to head away from the mid lane, so they're not going to have backup here. And this is the perfect time for Mini and Jerax to strike. They are just going to get themselves a creep. It's going to be the Hellbear Smasher, but they're currently not heading towards mid. Looks like they actually want to try and get a kill onto the Gyro, but I believe that Demon would have gone down very easily in this situation.
Select skilled Shockwave at level 1, so it was pretty much a no-go as soon as they realized that. So with the Hellbear Smasher, they probably could have gotten the kill if there was a skewer, but there wasn't. But this double damage coming out from Wagamama, doing quite a bit of damage to the tower. They eat the tree. It looks like they want to try to aggressively dive this as supports of EG. No TP at all. They might just be prioritizing the tower, though, using the Ursa, of course, to tank that up. And this is going to be an incredibly fast tier 1.
Yeah. And Sing Sing bottom lane has hit level 2, so he does have doppel walk, so he will be able to get away. Fear, though, does carry some sentries, but let's focus back onto top lane.
Jo! He's stuck. He's going to get clapped by the Hellbear. He wants to try to get back under his tower, but is it going to be enough? Looks like no one else on the side of QPAD Red Pandas was in position
they were
to actually get the kill.
Creep wave, and Wagamama could be giving up first blood here. In comes the stun from Fear, and Wagamama going very low, trying to TP out. Is he going to get away? No, he's not, and EG Fear gets the first blood, and Jerax won't be able to pick up the stun, and Jo very low on health, but will just back away for the moment.
Very, very unfortunate. They almost managed to kill Jo right there, but he ended up salving between Mini's auto attacks, so he ended up living through the engagement. All in all, EG's reaction proves to be quite enough. Not only did they get the first blood, they also prevent their tower from dying.
Yeah, this has, though, left a one-on-one on the bottom lane, Sing versus Mambo. So we'll see how this works out. Mambo just putting down some harass. Doesn't do as much damage as Sing on just the auto attacks. So this could still not be so bad for QPAD Red Pandas, just having an easier lane for Sing Sing, playing the Phantom Lancer. And the top tower has taken a lot of damage. So even though Wagamama, a little bit out of position when the TPs came, gave up first blood, how do you feel this is for both teams so far?
Well, the QPAD Red Pandas have to have either just get rid of the lane top, which they have. They're rotating their supports back towards the bottom lane and help Sing out a little bit, which is the right call. Maybe force EG to avoid your lane, which I feel like was their goal this entire time, just so you know that Sing is going to get some semblance of farm. This is now the proper move. The Enchantress isn't going to get much done. They've given Demon way too much time. He's actually probably going to be 6 by the time that Enchantress can even think about ganking him again. So EG pulls out ahead in the fact that they can get their Storm Spirit to level 6 unobstructed, but the QPAD Red Pandas are going to start getting Sing some farm.
Yeah, and also the QPAD Red Pandas supports Mini and Jerax, still level 1. And Fear, currently level 3. I'm just going to check with the Rubik, which is Vidiz. He's almost level 3, level 2 right now. So currently on the last hits, Storm Spirit mid, played by Demon, doing really well. Bambo taking a little bit of damage across the bottom lane. Doing fine on the last hits as well, actually 3 last hits ahead of Sing Sing. And Vidiz on the bottom lane will rejoin Bambo. So everything seems to be calmed down a little bit.
It's like a chess game, basically. Both these teams just trying to get the better lanes. Obviously, EG doesn't want Sing to just get free farm. So their original plan was to aggressively tri-lane. Didn't work out. QPanda were punishing them pretty heavily by just pushing into that tier 1, trying to get it down as fast as possible. Then EG reacted, got the first blood, and now they're reacting again by making sure that at least one other person is down here helping Bambo, because even just the presence of Vidiz in that bottom lane is making him a lot more hesitant to go up to that wave to farm.
Yeah, of course. It was Fear that I believe has the sentries, and still does. But he's currently just content with controlling the top lane. They seem to be getting a lot out of their lanes right now, EG. They've got EG Fear on the Nyx Assassin, getting some nice last hits and getting some nice levels as he hits level 4. So it does look like you would definitely call favor currently towards EG. I would say in a big way as well, just because of the support will make such a big difference. If Jerax and Mini are going to be so low level, not going to be able to contribute much, it really is now QPAD to have to kind of defend their towers when the push comes. And you just hope that Jerax and Mini if you're a QPAD fan, will get some levels and have some presence on the map. But after giving away the first blood, EG currently taking control of the game.
Reflected especially by the fact that this Nyx, he's level 4 as a support. He's actually made his way down to bottom lane with a smoke, so they could potentially be applying some pressure here, maybe going for a kill, look for potentially Sing. Like you said, he does have those sentries on him. So the thing about this tri-lane is that they can actually kill Sing.
They're gonna go for Sing, and
they don't know that Beatus is there. The telekinesis is there. They're going to drop a sentry straight away to spin to follow it up, and Sing has absolutely no chance. Jerax was there with the stun, but looks like 2-0 right now in favor of EG. They've accomplished their goal so far in the early game. Keep Sing as low on farm as you possibly can.
Yeah, they've done very nicely. The aggressive tri-lane, it paid off. And Nyx Assassin, played by Fear, getting that invisibility was just a surefire kill.
It was a smoke.
Oh, so was it a smoke?
Yeah.
I thought he got invisibility rune. But either way, yeah, sorry. Just being able to turn up to the lane. Actually, there's vision at the top of the lane. There's no aggressive ward here from QPAD. So even without a smoke, they probably could have got that kill as well. But nicely done by EG, 2-0.
Demon's actually going to get his hands on a regeneration rune, and he's just hit level 6. We talked a little bit about how important it would be for Demon to get level 6, and if they could punish him. Oh, Sing might be dropping again here. The Blade Fury is going to be on point. There's also Vision, and Sing's going to die once again. The double nuke coming out from Fear. Beatus might be paying with his life. Wagamama teleports in. They want to try to punish this, and they have to select with, I gotta say, maybe a little bit late of a TP. Probably could have just sat in his lane and continued farming away. Demon was also ready to re-engage if necessary. And we also see that Bambo has managed to hit level 6. So a support for killing Sing, I think EG is going to be pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Select has to be so careful when rotating back, because there comes Bambo. He's got Omni Slash, and behind him is going to be Demon on the Storm Spirit, and it looks like Select just going to be able to screw away for a little bit now, trying to throw an RP out, and he might get the RP off. Did he cast it then, or did he cancel it?
He casted it.
Well, either way, actually Bambo could be paying for his life, and QPAD Red Pandas avoid getting ganked. Somehow Select survived through an RP that didn't connect, but it didn't seem to matter. And QPAD are going to be very grateful that they were gifted with a Bambo, really.
Bambo had a Bambo play right there. Like, he had only enough mana for one ability, and it's a full health Magnus. You're not going to kill him with just an Omni. Maybe he was expecting Demon to get a little bit closer, but he actually managed to skewer before the Vortex, and Demon used way too much mana when he went in to possibly follow it up. So it was actually really fortunate that Select was able to get out of there. Sure, he wasted the RP, but at the end of the day, it's not the longest cooldown in the world, and they actually got the kill on Bambo as well. So QPAD going to be quite pleased with that situation. EG, though, on Fear, still continuing to farm away. Jo and Demon are currently sitting at the highest overall CS, 42 and 37.
Yeah, Wagamama has done pretty well for himself on this lane. He's been able to keep his Treants alive quite well. He's even been using them to help himself deny with his Nature's Prophet, and he's keeping up on levels. And after he gets this creep wave, he's going to be catching up a little bit on the last hit. So nicely done by him. We can also see that Rune was picked up by Demon, the illusion. It was scouted out though by Wagga, so Select will know that mid is just going to be, could be a bit more of a nightmare. Someone that they're missing on the map right now is EG Beatis, who's just warding top. And that's pretty scary for Select. And you can see he's very defensively postured. There's a high ground ward in favor of EG. So Select not feeling too comfortable in this situation and 400 away from his boots.
You really want a high ground ward of your own if you're Select here. Just being able to see mid. Yeah. Just being able to see that storm, that's really what he needs, because if he can't, then there's the opportunity that he can jump him from fog, and then EG is going to be able to follow it up every single time. So like you were saying, just not where he really wants to be. And they actually wasted a smoke. The QPAD Red Pandas had Mini and Jerax smoked up top lane for quite some time, and this is time that they really can't afford to lose. Jerax, the poor guy, he's level 4, and 9 minutes in, he's got 1 CS to his name. So at some stage, this movement coming out of the QPAD Red Pandas has to actually give them something, because as of yet, it hasn't really done much of anything.
Sing getting pushed away by Bambo on the bottom lane. Bambo's going to pull the creeps into the neutrals, and they're going to get some good damage here as EG Fear goes onto the tower. And EG Fear is now hit level 6, so this mid-fight could be really bad. You see QPAD Red Pandas, they're selling up to maybe do something mid. If they do, there is
top
going
lane,
to be a
Wagga might get solo killed, and it looks like he will end up dropping to just Jo. Beatus actually getting hit here by a Centaur, but he's going to be A-OK for the moment. That is something Like, dying solo like that absolutely cannot happen. Fear actually now level 6. He's got his arcanes, and he's looking for a kill on Select. If they jump him, there's not going to be enough time to react. Demon goes in, he gets the Vortex off. Here comes the stun. Is it going to be enough for Select? No, it's not. Mid-skewer animation, and he ends up going down. Fear now going to get hit by a spear from Sing, and Sing is able to get himself on the board and kills. So it's basically a 2-for-1 exchange. Wagamama died top, Select dies middle, and then Fear dies mid as well.
Yeah, not too bad. Sing's going to be happy that he at least got some needed gold and,
Mini.
experience.
Mini walking right in, but the Treants are there to take some of the Omni-Slash charges. Bambo currently on forward retreat. Waga misses the Sprout, and they're actually going to be able to get away scotch-free. So Bambo quite happy with himself that that just happened. You can see EG, they're pulling ahead over 3,000 gold lead in just an 11-minute game.
Yeah, they are indeed. Select now, going to farm top. Just checking on Jo, not playing the gyrocopter. Doing pretty well on last hits, 57 and 9. He's actually already got his Shadow Amulet up, so going towards that Shadow Blade. He's finished his phase boots as well, so he's going to be a real nuisance when it comes to mid-game. And QPAD, they just want to keep this game slow. The biggest problem that they've got, in my opinion, for QPAD was letting the bottom tier 1 tower drop where Bambo is currently farming, just because you want to secure your jungle the best as possible. So the fact that that tower's gone, it becomes pretty scary for the Phantom Lancer just to farm willy-nilly, especially when there's a Nyx Assassin. I don't believe I said willy-nilly. Especially when there's a Nyx Assassin that has Dust, level 6, and also Arcane Boots. You're never really safe. And you can see Sing doesn't even want to push any more on his lane. He's actually just backing off and heading towards mid. So this Nyx Assassin is definitely putting the fear into the QPAD Red Commanders team with their positioning. But it does seem like they've caught on to where the Rubik is, and they figure fear might be here. So QPAD could be setting up to do something pretty decent.
Select actually skewers away. Doesn't want to go for the kill. Looks like they just want to completely abandon the situation. Fear, it's only level 1 Vendetta. He needs to make a choice. Otherwise, he's going to be revealed in lane. Looks like the rest of EG, though, is willing to back them up. This tier 1 sitting at about a third health. And it looks like Pandas, they're just going to trade. They don't really want to try to fight right now. Even with the RP, they're feeling a bit squeamish. The initiation of EG proving to be a little bit scary for them. They don't want to try to give away anything extra, like you said. Slowing down the game is going to be to their benefit. And in terms of taking a top-tier tower, for QPAD Red Pandas, it's not as big of a deal. But if they can get a mid, it's going to be a worthy trade. And here comes Wagamama to secure it.
And they will get the mid-tier tower, but EG are looking to set up a fight. That Vendetta is down on Fear for another 15 seconds, so he's not able to go. So I actually think QPAD won that exchange overall, losing the tier 1 top, not having anyone die, securing the tier 1 tower mid, and having their own tier 1 tower mid on pretty much full HP. They're not in too bad of a situation to see if they can put some emphasis on getting Sing some of that farm. Jerax just picking up a invisibility on his Leshrac. There is going to be sentry wards mid, and you'd expect him to kind of figure this as they do want to get vision on the Phantom Lancer once the fight kicks off. And EG looking to potentially put some pressure on a tower, but they decided no, they're back off. And once again, that does play a little bit in QPAD's favor, but the farm from Jo, maybe he's just waiting to finish his Shadow Blade. He's only about 200 gold away, and then maybe they look to take a fight.
And this is the problem, too, because Jo doesn't really need to make a BKB against the QPAD Red Pandas. They have an RP, which is a great stun, but it goes through BKB regardless, and then you're going to have a Phantom Lancer who's going to do tremendous damage pretty much no matter what. But smoke up here from QPAD. Looks like they want to try to find somebody, and this is a risky move. Whenever you're trying to do something aggressive to get a tier 1 off of the map, it's a good thing because this is an important tier 1 for them, but it could backfire. You could see some reaction coming out of EG, and they could manage to just turn it around on you. But we're going to see some reaction. We can already see Fear teleporting to tier 2. Calldown's going to be there, but the tower ends up dropping before EG can even react. So the QPAD Red Pandas, they get a tower basically for naught, and Bambo is looking for an opening, but I'm not sure if he's going to find it. Demon's on the side. Who is he going to want to try to jump? There's no vision in lane, so EG, they're not going to pursue.
Really, really nicely done by QPAD Red Pandas. Even the smoke just to get the tower and get it quickly was a smart move. You saw one TP reaction, the cooldown was used. The whole team from EG ended up moving top, so another decent exchange for QPAD. Still playing from behind. Still, you just look at the gyrocopter and you're just like, this is very painful. JO's doing great on his gyrocopter, but the next fight I can expect to be around middle. Selects that on 950 gold. He's going to be a little bit far away from his Blink Dagger. Not going to have that for what happens mid. And they need to still be very careful about how they rotate QPAD Red Pandas as a team, because that Nyx Assassin, if they decide to use it and look for picks, you know, Fear can just make something really good happen if he's backed up by just the Storm Spirit is enough.
And backup is the name of the game for EG. They have such good heroes for follow-up. They have an Omni Slash, they got Storm, Call Down. Every single one of their heroes, aside from, of course, Pandas on that Rubik, just have such good follow-up potential. But the one thing I wanted to touch back on, you actually mentioned this, is Select doesn't have his Blink. It's 15.5 minutes in, and he's got 49 CS. He was against a Storm mid. Storm not known for being the greatest lane presence hero in the world, actually not that good at all, and that's why they wanted to try to kill him in the first place. But normally, even in the last best 3 we saw, Resolution had Arcanes, had a Blink 2 minutes ago. And he was against, in my opinion, a harder matchup.
Yeah.
So, really, Select needs to get that farm in. He needs to get his Blink that much faster. That TP in the bottom lane at the very start of the game, we were talking about that movement. Yeah, it was totally unnecessary. He needs to effectively farm faster. Fear, though,
Sing.
with the Vendetta, he will actually be able to spot out Sing, see some pings coming out here from Bambo, but I think Sing is onto it. He should be able to get away.
Yeah, and that Shadow Blade also coming into effect, a great item to roam with your Nyx Assassin with the JO has on his Gyrocopter. But they're still able to find farm. Wagger's been, he's had his Midas for a little while now. So QPAD Red Pandas, they're holding on despite the start. It's really EG, yes, they're in control, but they can't play this slow EG. Like, even though the Gyrocopter has his Shadow Blade now, that's great. They still can't play this slow. They need to take some advantage, and they're looking to take that advantage now. EG are going for Roshan, and if they get this, that tier 1 tower fight that they obviously want to put some pressure on and force the fight will come next, and it's going to be very tough for the QPAD Red Pandas team to go up against potentially just I would say a Storm Spirit with an Aegis. Demon playing the Storm Spirit, who's very close to finishing up his Orchid as well. So QPAD Red Pandas have no idea, they're just farming away. Wagger's top. Things are in EG's jungle, and EG get the better of the exchange in the last few minutes of the map control, picking up the Aegis onto Demon. Yeah, it's going to be extremely tough, this tier 1 fight.
I don't know if they should even take this, honestly. Like, just cut the losses. Yeah, losing the map control is a big problem, but you're relying so much on Select to get an RP without a Blink. Like, he still doesn't have his Blink. He's 700 gold away. He ideally should have had the Blink by now, and they should have been able to defend this because he would be able to get a decent RP. Not a lot of heroes on the side of EG have great range. They have 2 melee,
Bambo.
2 heroes with short range. Yeah, Bambo trying to spot out many here in the woods, but unfortunately only level 1 Omni Slash, and he is rushing in Aghanims, by the way, so we actually get to see a couple of Juggernaut games where they did that as well. So for EG, as soon as the Orchid's done on Demon, that's their time.
Yeah.
That is their opening.
Yep. Wait for the Orchid, and then if that tier 1, if the fight goes bad for QPAD Red Pandas, they're probably going to be so far behind that they won't be able to catch up. It's just how it is going to be. So Sing's going to have a hard time. It looks like he's catching up on farm a little bit. He's up to 81 CS, but still not doing great. He's kind of just just a little bit ahead of Bambo, who was playing the off-lane Juggernaut. And Bambo just feels very comfortable. He's just farming all the way down bottom. He's got Fear, just came out of Vendetta that's backing him up. And that tier 2 tower is going to take some pressure. And Wagamama is going to turn up to defend. He's going for a Shadow Blade for himself.
Shadow Blade, interesting choice, actually, because they don't have a mech. They don't have a mech carrier. I mean, I guess the Enchantress could pick it up ideally, but
Enchantress is going mech.
Yeah, it hurts when you have to delay a mech by so long because you're making it on a hero who doesn't really get the same amount of farm as Wagga would. We talked about how good of a start that he actually had, and most of the time you want to give the mech to the hero who has the good start to get it quicker. Around the 10-12 minute mark is typically where you want it, but all of QPAD's timing so far, like on their Blink, on their mech, they're a little bit later than they would like it to be. Yeah. So EG is going to be able to exploit that, and they're actually pushing the tier 1 mid with no contention right now.
Yeah, and you did say that QPAD maybe just sack it. They've gone for that option. Bambo actually having his healing ward on his Juggernaut was a huge plus for him because Wagamama did put down some damage with his ultimate on Nature's Prophet, but Bambo able just to heal it back up. So now the map gets really dangerous for QPAD Red Pandas, and this is where EG are looking for a pick. They're looking just for, if they get one pick, it's a tier 2 tower.
Yeah.
And they're in a position to get that. They've got a Shadow Blade on Gyrocopter, they've got EG Fear, he's got level 1 Vendetta, but it's backup, and Bambo with level 1 Omni Slash, almost level 2 Omni Slash as well. So, Jarex out in no man's land right now.
Yeah, he might actually end up getting caught by Fear. Fear is currently walking right into the lane, or near it, I should say, but there's this sense of QPAD Red Pandas very slowly losing control of the game. That's pretty much the story that's being told right now, is they've lost all their outer tier towers so far. They've managed to get 2 away from EG, but EG's always had the advantage, so even though their mid tower and their top tier tower are missing, they're never the ones actually applying any pressure. They've been sitting on their side of the map for the last 10 minutes. So until they win a big fight and push EG back, they're never going to get their map control back.
Well, a plus for QPAD Red Pandas, even though they had to sack their tier 1 tower, couldn't take a fight, Select has now finished his Blink Dagger. So they do have some element of good initiation. Singh has actually decided not to finish up his Manta style. He's actually going straight towards his Diffusal Blade. And that Orchid is also up on Demon, playing the Storm Spirit. So, as we mentioned, the map is open now. The map is dangerous. Not sure how long is left on the Aegis, because we don't have an Aegis timer. But I'm sure that they're going to want to use it soon. But
It's really, really soon. It's probably going to be fading before the next fight, yeah.
yeah. And if it does fade before the next fight, that could be huge for QPAD Red Pandas. But I feel it's really important for QPAD Red Pandas to at least move as a team now, which they are doing. No one feels safe moving around alone. You can see Jarex, Mini, and Select just backing up Singh as he farms jungle. And it's a decent option. Wagamama actually just uses Shadow Blade to get away from Jo. Doesn't have the ability to teleport back and doesn't have a TP scroll, so just going to hide away in the jungle, up top in the forest even. But Demon's getting some great farm as well. And if you look at the top 2 farmers, it's both of them are EG.
Yeah, EG just controlling the map very nicely. You can see the QPAD Red Pandas, they have 3 people sitting behind Singh in the bottom lane.
It's smart though, it is what you really have to do. Look, Bambo's down there doing Bambo thing.
Yeah, he's hiding here. He wants to try to find an Omni. He's actually 400 away from that Aghanim, so he's level 11. He's got that level 2 ulti. And once that's finished, oh man, if he walks up right now, if only they had vision. Bambo seemingly with a spider sense right now, but not quite enough. Jarak's going to be living life on the edge, not that he knows it. The rest of EG now starting to collapse into the QPAD Red Pandas woods once again, and this has been the story. They're always the ones who move first. They're always the ones who force QPAD to actually go back themselves. And, well, Wagamama's split pushing, but now everyone's sitting outside of the base.
But it's one big team fight. That's what it's going to come down towards. And as long as QPAD aren't getting picked off in the mid stage of the game, where EG are really looking for picks, as long as they're not getting picked off, they're playing it pretty well on the defense. But the fact is they have been forced on the defense, and that is all credit to EG. But still, Wagamama farming top, Singh also up there in the jungle, almost finishes Diffusal, and now the tier 2 tower is going to get some pressure. That Aegis is still up on Demon. They are going to try and clear some of the creep wave. They do so. They've got another wave to clear in just a moment, and this could be EG's time to attack, time to shine. Bambo has level 2 ulti, and it looks like they could just be sacking that tower.
I don't think they're willing to fight this. It's so hard to initiate. Oh, they want to go on Waga, actually. Demon playing it as hard as he can. We're going to see an Omni go into the base. Mini taking quite a bit of damage. The Nature's Attendant's healing him a bit. Jurax getting caught out completely by himself. Select nowhere to be found in this engagement so far. Mini could be dying onto the tower. Demon, he wants this kill, or at the very least to die before the Aegis actually wears off. But no deaths on the side of EG. The Aegis will be popped. Select maybe pinging here like they want to try to go for the kill, but it could be too risky. Demon going to be able to use that ball lightning and escape QPAD's base. So Waga, he was kind of off in no man's land. There was no follow-up really at all coming out of QPAD, and they just give away a couple of kills. Could potentially be giving away the racks.
Yeah, the second time Waga's been out of position. Actually, Select had a moment where he could have got an RP on Bambo when he was very low on health, and I think that they should have actually gone for it. It was BDiz that was probably going to be able to steal in that situation, but either way, they probably could have got a 2 to 3 man RP, and even with Singh playing the Phantom Lancer, his illusions could have done a decent amount of damage, but they sack the tier 2, they lose a couple of people. It is really bad for QPAD Red Pandas. That is that's everything EG could have hoped for. I don't think they would have expected to even got to the tier 3 tower that easily once they saw that the enemy team was sacking the tier 2, but the tier 3 tower mid is down to 20%. And QPAD are going to smoke up. They're looking to use this RP. They're looking to make something happen.
Have we seen one RP this whole game?
Just on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, has there actually been an RP and another hero? They might be able to find Demon. Select goes in. There's the RP that we're looking for. Demon gonna get solo killed here. So unfortunate for him. The entirety of QPAD just happened to be chilling out in their own jungle. Who would have thought? And Bambo, like you were saying earlier, doing more Bambo things. It just seems like he's always off on his own, just trying to find picks.
Yeah, he's got his Acceptor. He's pretty happy with where he is on his Juggernaut. He's level 12 as well. I actually think that's the same level as Sing Sing on the Phantom Lancer. So doing great. And EG already making QPAD have some rotation as they look to push the tier 2 tower top. They could also be looking to get a pick on Wagamama. QPAD were looking to make a move on the tier 1 tower bottom. It is pretty low, but they're actually going to back off. And all this time, Jo just has picked up some nice farm. Looks like he could have been going jungle, and he's got his Demon Edge and is going for that MKB since his last item pickup was Helm of the Dominator. And that's going to be very painful for a level 12 Phantom Lancer.
Well, this is what I was saying. Just the fact that Jo doesn't have to make a BKB. He has a Storm to initiate for him. He has a Nyx and a Rubik to back him up if anybody goes on him, and then he has a Juggernaut to Bambo in and just ult somebody and kill them. There's not really a whole lot on the side of the QPAD Red Pandas besides Treants that absorb that Omni damage. So if they catch him in an opportune spot, then he's going to get at least a kill on the support if he's lucky. So still, EG holding a pretty distinct advantage in this game. Gem actually picked up on Fear as they're doing some dewarding right now. And he's actually getting close to level 11, so level 2 Vendetta coming out on the support Nyx probably within the next 5 minutes or so. And Jo, when he finishes that MKB, like you said, James, pain.
Yeah, it is. They want Aegis. EG probably feel like it's too risky to go and push into the base versus a Magnus. Their Storm Spirit, he's got his Mystic Staff, Demon, but he's not close unless he's got something on the courier, which he doesn't. He's not close to picking up his Cypher Vice, so it's all about now safe pushing for EG, pick up towers where you can. If you can get a kill, you're very fortunate to do so, because QPAD have been playing very defensive, as they rightfully should be. And once they get this tier 2 tower, if they get Aegis, it's all going to be about QPAD, can they defend their base?
And QPAD forfeiting one of their last outer tier towers here. The tier 2 bottom goes in favor of EG. Wagamama was trying to push top, but Fear pretty much immediately TP'd, and why not? Nyx doesn't really add a whole lot to
Fear as well.
To a push. Yeah, the gem has been on there for a little while, and just giving him some map control. Very, very needed from EG. As long as they maintain the pressure, they're going to be fine. But as soon as QPAD Red Pandas win maybe one big engagement and just put EG on the defensive, then that's when the PL and Wagamama on that Nature's Prophet start really coming into play.
Yeah, and Roshan has just come up, so that gem and some of the wards that EG will put down will be huge. BDiz as well has also picked up a Blink Dagger from all the Tower Gold and small skirmishes that he's been involved. So this is a very good Rubik. This is a scary Rubik if you're a Magnus or you're just the team of QPAD, and they are going to be aware of this second Roshan going down, at least this time. QPAD didn't see it the first time, but they are going to have to give it away. It's something that they probably aren't going to be able to contest on. Looking over at some of the items that QPAD are looking to finish, Mini only 150 gold away from finishing his mech, and that will be important for the base defense, but Demon is going to be an absolute nuisance, and it really comes down to Demon's initiation in the base if they do take a base fight, and Select's positioning and counter initiation with the RP. These are two of the biggest factors. And that's just in case it goes to that situation where they do fight in base. Of course, QPAD, they play every second they're on the map. It's a risky game, but they are actually backing Wagamama up as Fear goes invisible with the gem. This could be dangerous for Fear, but Waga's going to get out, and it looks like the rest of QPAD are also going to leave. So decently played on the defense, but EG, it's up to them, Draskell. It's their time to strike. Where do you think it's going to happen, and when?
A Demon could probably wait out his Hex. He's very close to it right now. He, of course, has that Mystic Staff. He's had it for some time. He's sitting on 2,300 gold. So if he gets this tower last hit, the tier 2 in this top lane, he's going to pretty much almost have it. He might need a handful more creeps. But when he does that, He has an Aegis. He can honestly just go into the base. Like, just go into the base, find, select, kill him, or at least do enough damage to force him out of the fight, and then EG can take the ensuing fight afterwards. And Sing, he's only got 1100 HP. Waga has nothing but a Shadow Blade. So those heroes, on their own, they don't really do a whole lot. They really, really need Select to perform in this next engagement. The mech, yeah, it's going to be up, but it's going to be at 30 minutes in. That's not really the most effective mech timing, especially when JO's looking at an MKB. He's got Phase Boots. He's going to have a BKB, Helm of the Dominator, and a Shadow Blade. Like, his damage output is ridiculous. So, EG, they're very, very aggressively positioned right now. They're going for the tier 3 mid, and Demon, he almost has enough money for that Hex. Bambo actually going to get stuck inside. Demon trying to break the trees for him, but it's not going to work. Bambo actually living life on the edge here. He will be able to drop the healing ward. It gets killed straight away, and he's going to have to TP back to base just to live through this. So they do stop the push of EG. Bambo, that was a close one.
Yeah, nice sprout by Wagger, and they just had to leave. And because of that, QPAD have bought themselves some more time. So EG, not an optimal way to kind of go into the base and push. And Bambo just a little bit too aggressive in positioning. So EG did get the tier 2 tower top. QPAD Red Pandas did get the tier 1 tower bottom. Wagamama is getting closer to his Cypher Vice. He's got an ultimate orb. He's still a good 400 away from getting his Mystic Staff. And still the map is very dangerous. And you can just see Mini, Select, and Jerex just backing up. Just constantly backing up their two farmers. It's Wagamama and Sing Sing who need the farm. Sing Sing has gone for that Vitality booster on his way to a heart. If he can get that, that will be huge. Chances are EG are going to bring the fight to him before he has that item up. And Fear on the Nyx Assassin could be getting really close to his Blink Dagger, which could be devastating in the fights.
If he gets a blink, he's going to be able to back up Demon. And Demon probably doesn't even need the backup, to be honest. The guy's got a Hex and he's got an Orchid. He can even overlap if he really wants to, just to get the extra damage output going out of Select. Because if that RP is not in the fight, EG win the fight. Like, this is all on Select. It's a lot of pressure, but there's really no way they can defend this without a good RP. And Demon, he's going to walk up the hill. He wants to do damage to the tier 30 Mini, throwing out an Impetus just to try to harass a little bit. But the healing ward is down. The Rax is fully exposed. This is probably one of the last chances the QPAD Red Pandas have inside of this game. Can they actually stop it?
Yeah, at some point they're going to have to go. But Demon looking to pounce, and here it is.
It's going to be on Jerax. He pulls him immediately. Call down, not really doing a whole lot, but it will be enough to actually secure Jerax. Omni right onto Mini. Gets him completely isolated from the fight. It's a double kill for Jo. The two supports right now on the side of QPAD Red Pandas down. The middle Rax also follows suit. Still, no RP used from Select. It just seems like they can't put up a defense against the aggression that EG has.
Yeah, Demon actually pretty low on mana. Sing Sing did target him down. But either way, that tier 3 tower top will now go down, and I'm sure Demon just wants to leave. That's a big win. No reason to get greedy. EG are just going to take what they can get for free, and no RP, as you mentioned. No good defense from QPAD Red Pandas. EG taking a clear lead here, and they're even looking to maybe surprise them and go back in, as EG Fear is currently vendetted. Going to be moving away from QPAD's base, actually. And Wagamama has been dinged out. They know that someone could be farming the jungle, so we'll see when he leaves. In comes Demon. Going to be a little bit too late. Wagga's going to get back home.
It was nighttime. It was nighttime, so we didn't even see him. But yeah, Wagga getting the Scythe is pretty important. Now you have some counter initiation on Demon. You can actually stop him when he balls in like that. He didn't even have to go for Select there. And this is what I was talking about. When you have that great reach, not only do you run the risk of getting caught, but do you really want to RP Demon solo inside of your base?
Not
because then the rest of EG...
Like,
yeah,
there's no point.
It's so hard for Select to actually find these openings because none of these heroes have to be by each other. Bambo's been by himself half the game. So where do you look for the big RP? Beatas can steal it. You know, you don't want to do it on Demon. Looks like they were trying to find Singer, but it's just images, so
they
nicely
actually
drew.
had an observer ward up there, so they had vision of him, but they came in so oddly late. Maybe, I'm not sure where Fear was on the mix. But
Jo, he's got a Satanic. I just want to throw that out there. And a Veil on this Nyx Assassin, by the way. Oh, they're going to find Sing. The stun coming out from Fear should be more than enough to get the kill, and yeah, Sing... Oh, maybe he won't die, actually. He managed to live for a little bit longer. There we go. He will end up dropping there to Demon, so... Not looking too good here for the QPAD Red Pandas. In game number 1, we saw the first pick and mag, and we thought to ourselves, this is QPAD's comfort zone. This is what they really love to run. Select plays it all the time. And EG, they know exactly how to play against it.
Yeah, well, they showed it too early as well. Like, the Nyx Assassin was available. It would have been, in my opinion, such a better pick for your supports to be able to play something aggressive and actually just win a lane. Win a lane and win it well, because QPAD Red Pandas, they lost all 3 lanes.
Yeah. It's been a rough game so far for the QPAD Red Pandas, and it's going to continue to be an uphill struggle. It's 4-11, 34 minutes into this game, and this has been a day of not really a whole lot of kills, I would say, but still pretty darn lopsided games for the most part. Of course, the last series, if you guys didn't catch it, there were 1 or 2 pretty close games, and one was kind of really one-sided. This one, a little bit one-sided in itself. Jo just casually walks into the base. He's got 2,000 health. There is almost no way they can actually focus him down. He's just going to keep attacking the racks. The healing ward's going to go down from Bambo. They actually managed to kill it with Sing's image right there. The ball lightning coming out from Demon to open his spot in that Sprout. Call down just to allow EG to finally back out. But still, no initiation, nothing coming out of the QPAD Red Pandas.
Yeah, it looks like they're waiting for the perfect opportunity, which I feel they're going to miss. They could have 2 team fights and just exchanged some kills, and just if your carry like Sing was able to have people creating, some opportunities for him at the front end, he probably would have survived most of these fights, been able to get some additional gold, and he would have potentially could have had that heart, which just makes him such a nuisance to play against. But EG ready to pounce here. They are smoked up. A sentry does come down from Mini, so they do see it.
And they're going to find
go instantly onto Select. Great counter Sheep from Wagger, and they're actually going to get a kill on Demon. This is huge.
Oh, nice 3-man RP coming out from Select. Jo, Fear, and Bambo. Oh, caught inside. Beatus gets the steal, has a blink of his own, tries to turn it around. Bambo spinning on all 3 heroes. Select with a Skira onto Beatus. Looks like Sing is going to go down first. He immediately buys back into the game. It's an ultra kill for Jo. The damage output, just way too much. The flak cannon obliterating everyone on the side of the QPAD Red Pandas. The second set of melee racks sure to fall here in the next couple of seconds. The buyback from Wagga, the buyback from Sing. It's just not enough. Brilliant play coming out of Beatus. For a second there, we saw a glimpse of hope. Demon, he got hexed out. They managed to pick him straight away, but in the end, wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, and Sing's heart, it's not going to be coming up anytime soon.
No.
The buyback he bought out maybe felt like he had to. The racks were still going to go down with him and Wagga buying out. So they did get what they wanted from their initiation. They got a Hex onto Demon. It was very nicely timed by Wagga. They had a good position. They got the kill, but it was all about the Rubik. It was all about Beatus just getting a really nice steal, a blink, and then a reverse polarity.
That was a brilliant fight overall. When they went in, it was so perfect because you imagine Wagga has the Hex, right? You see Select, he gets Hex. Demon gets Hex straight away. They burst him down, but the call down, the Omni Slash come out from Bambo straight away. 2 heroes dead. By the time Select gets his RP, yeah, it's on 3. Beatus with the clutch steal. He blinks in, gets a 3-man RP of his own. There's just no follow-up damage. In this entire time, Jo left completely untouched, and he picks up the ultra kill. Just absolute brilliance coming out of EG's team fight right there.
Yeah, really nicely done. And QPAD, they can't just keep this passive farming game going. They've lost 2 set of racks. They're probably going to lose the next Roshan. This will be the 3rd Roshan, so this will be with Cheese. They have smoked up. They do have a reverse polarity on Select. Are they going to try and make something happen by the Roshan? It's going to be risky. There is a sentry ward mid lane, and they're going to be spotted out here. And EG, they know everything.
Fear, who is he going to find? Is it going to be Mini? He walks basically right into him. Demon goes long distance, finds Select. No BKB used. He's going to be stuck in that Hex for a little while longer. Fear looking for some kind of engagement. Select, he does get the 2-man RP on Bambo.
Oh,
and Jo, the follow-up stun is actually coming. Beatus, he gets a steal on RP. He doesn't have the blink, though. Is he going to be able to get an RP? He manages to, and Bambo with the Omni Slash right on top of it. QPAD Red Pandas say, we can't possibly win. That was our last-ditch effort, and it didn't quite work for him.
Yeah, really impressive play by EG, but you also feel that QPAD, they had something going for them with the idea of what they wanted to do, and it slipped. Yeah. The fact is, the top lane, that went bad. That was a slip-up. Mid lane, Select did get beaten pretty badly by Demon. That maybe shouldn't have happened. I felt like he played a little bit passive, but either that or Demon just played pretty fantastic. And then Bambo just got too much on the off lane. So all 3 lanes won by EG, showing us why they are one of the favorite teams out there for the qualifiers and taking a very convincing game 1.
It was really enjoyable to watch EG because it's actually been a while since I personally have been able to see one of their games. It's so weird though sometimes because Bambo, he just spent like 20 minutes of the game sitting in the woods somewhere just trying to find solo kills. And it seems like the rest of his team was just way too farmed to even do anything against it. So I gotta give props especially to Jo. We can see him just tanking the well there because that's what you do when you have 6 items. But
And Satanic,
he got so much farm, and the last fight, he didn't even really get focused at all. And we mentioned the BKB choice. He didn't have to make it. He just went straight in for damage. He got the ultra kill inside of the base. All in all, it was pretty much EG from start to finish.
Yeah, Jo actually finished 11-0 in that game. 0 deaths, didn't need the BKB. The Satanic was a great pickup, and there was no way they were going to kill him. Demon was just such a menace in the team fights to initiate them, and then as soon as your Rubik and your Nyx Assassin got the items they did, actually it was a Veil coming out on the Nyx Assassin. It was just like, there is, the supports could, they change every initiation. Even if Demon was to make a mistake, it wouldn't have mattered. They were so far ahead. So well played to EG, 1-0 up here in the second game of Group B. Bruno and Wepaz, what did you make of the match?
Well, Webpass, you know the QPAD Red Pandas very well. You've been with them for the last week or so.
Yeah.
So tell us what went wrong there.
Well, it kind of just felt like they really tried to force rotation out early on, and they just didn't find anything. They lost First Blood. Wagamama got killed up in the top lane because some really nice teleports coming out of Jo as well as Fear. So EG just reacting to what QPAD wanted to do straight away, and then they just kept the rotation going, won pretty much every lane, and after that, it's just so hard to come back into the game, especially like I pointed out early in the cast. If you have Mag as your only initiation, you're never really going to find those big RPs. And if you have a Nyx, like we saw there, you do an RP into the Nyx, of course it's going to get stolen. So just very well played by EG, and yeah, the rotation was really good this game.
Yeah. And coming into this game too, the QPAD Red Pandas will have a lot to think about. Now they cannot be safe anymore. They were saying maybe, well, if we lose this game, we'll face IC Cap, which in paper seems to be an easy opponent, but as we saw before, they have a couple tricks under their
They're
sleeve.
quite strong, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think they should do better next time? Is it something with the draft? Is it something with the plays?
Well, it just felt like I said, they just forced it too much. I think they should just go back, as we can see the final fight going in there.
Demon, he comes in, he gets Select, he gets the Hex, Select pops the BKB, he wants to go in, he gets 2 with the RP, but Beat is, again, immaculate positioning. He steals it straight away. Even without the blink, he's able to casually walk in while Jo tanks all the damage coming out of the QPAD Red Pandas. Their focus fire in that last fight, they were attacking the hardest hero to kill. He popped Satanic, he healed back to full HP, and by the end of the fight, it's just GG.
GG, indeed.
No, but I feel that QPAD should probably try and play something more safe. Play a defensive tri-lane, have a dedicated offlane and a dedicated mid, and then maybe rotate into mid to help with the gank, but not try and force it too much, because now they really try to force it, and then EG's supports got levels, so they could start rotating without losing too much, whereas QPAD supports, they still try to run around. Jerox was level 1 when Fear was like level 3 or 4, and then Mini came into the jungle. He was an Enchantress, so he could farm, but it was still, they just lost so much from those early rotations, not getting any kills whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much the analysis of Game 1. We're going to go into Game 2, but before we have a small break, I think. So we're going to stop just for a few minutes. We'll be back soon with Game 2.
We're still waiting on one EG player. They were asking when we were starting. We said now if possible, but since we're waiting on one, we'll just go away for a couple of minutes, and then we'll let the players recompose themselves to go into Game 2. So when we come back, it's EG versus QPAD Red Pandas, Game 2, and EG have the lead 1-0. See you in just a couple of minutes.